I want to say something quite interesting and profound, but it would seem to you as something obvious. But when you think about it, what I'm actually saying, um, it is interesting and it is profound. People complain to me that I don't have a job or a career or a pastime or an occupation. And I do things like my hobbies, like reading books and researching things, using my skills to write emails to people, making these videos about various things. I used to be on a website of my portfolio where I wrote about all kind of things and did videos about my camera and digital photography, things like that. But recently, I've just started making videos about the Bible, something I've never done before. And I was in Tesco's a couple of days ago, and the girl said to me, "Do you enjoy doing that?" As though she was saying, "I don't enjoy what I do, but you're lucky because you don't have to work in Tesco's. You can do um, what you enjoy doing, like making videos." But I thought to myself, there's a lot of rich people in the world and people who don't do conventional jobs and go to Saint Tropez and Monte Carlo and Miami and Paris. But I live in Edinburgh where there's a lot of poorer people and there's people on the streets. But she said, "Do you enjoy what you do?" And I thought to myself, well, is she saying that she doesn't enjoy what she does? And is she coveting me? Is she saying, um, I'm jealous of you? But if you think about it, even newsreaders on the television tell things on television news that some of it you've got to take with a grain of salt because it's not actually true what they're saying. And they talk about a lot of bad things that happen in the world, and you wonder whether it's contrived just to produce a message to try to avoid those things from really happening. But when I make talks about the Bible, you could say I'm a preacher, but I'm not a preacher, which is why the girl in Tesco said to me, "You're not a pastor, you just like doing whatever you feel like doing." But think about even a church leader or a preacher. What good do they actually do? I know they do what I'm doing and make a Bible sermon and keep people happy, 30 people happy a week in a church that's in one of the few churches in a city the size of the capital city of Scotland. But what good do they actually do? They preach a sermon. Well, I do that on this video. They talk to people after church. They let you phone them like they're a social worker if you don't phone them too often. And they tell things similar to what I'm doing, things about the Bible. But you could say newsreaders preach their own sermons about bad things that happen in the world and punishments for murders and things that you question as to whether those things are really taking place. But everybody who works, you think to yourself, well, what good are they actually doing? So you think to yourself, well, they need to enjoy what they do because we're all on this life and we're here to serve the Lord. And the Lord is good and He wants to bless us and we're supposed to serve Him. So even people that work in secular jobs or preachers in a church, what are they actually doing that is different to what I'm actually doing? And the answer's not that much. And I enjoy what I do, but I'm bored a lot of the time as well, and I don't have any friends. hardly. And I don't have any authority or any position. But people who read the news have a position and a certain amount of authority in the field that they're working in. And the girl in Tesco's has authority in the shop. But what are they actually doing that's any more useful or good or fulfilling or necessary than what I'm doing? And the answer is not that much, because if people on the news are making stories up just to try and ward people away from those things really happening, and preachers are preaching from the Bible that most people aren't interested in listening to sermons about the Bible, what's the difference between what they do and the usefulness of what they do and their viability and their recognition and their being given authority as something that gives them a fulfilling life and gives them some money and a nice house? What's the difference between the work they do doing that and me doing work like this? The only difference is that I'm in a less fortunate position because I don't have any authority. But I'm doing something that means a lot to God, and the principles of the Bible are moral principles that mean something just as much as the girl working in Tesco's, the preacher who works in the church, the minister, or the newsreaders on the television. And they get paid and they've got authority. But if you think about me saying very important things about the Bible, I'm earning, pulling my weight and earning my right to exist in this world just as much as they are.